somebody, I suppose the duty officer, spots me and says, "Hey, you, follow me." I went after him. I thought, oh boy, we're going to get some guns and ammunition, we're going to do something about this, you know. But as they went out the back door of building 54, the hangar that I was in, instead of turning to the right and going down to the ammo shack, which was a lean-to on the end of the AMR hangar, building 37, if I remember right, they turned to the left, went out there somewhere, jumped into an unbuilt construction ditch. I followed and jumped in after them. You know, hit the bottom of that ditch, got myself stabilized, looked up, and I'm looking right at a guy there in his white uniform, the dress uniform. The work uniform was a blue bell-bottom dungaree trousers and a chambray work shirt, but he was in his dress white uniform as though he was going into Honolulu, going to church or something. Never did find out why he was in his dress uniform, but I'm so thankful that he was, because there on the left sleeve of that uniform was a petty officer's rating badge. And I recognized that wing, round cannonball, the insignia of an aviation ordnanceman. I said, "You're the duty ordnanceman. Yeah, you're going to keep the ammo shack. Yeah, let's go get some guns and ammunition and shoot these blackety-blacks, you know." So I hadn't any more than hit the bottom of that ditch, and I and that ordnanceman were on our way out of the ditch. Somebody, again I suppose the duty officer, shouts, "Get back in the ditch! Get back in the ditch!" I don't want to be in that ditch. We're military men. We should be putting up a defense. We shouldn't be here in this ditch. Besides, I know this is the beginning of that war that they've been talking about, we've been preparing for. And I'm from a proud family, and I damn well know that if I'm going to lose my life in this or any other battle of this war, I would want my family and my country to know that I died fighting, not hiding. We continued about that ditch, started to run for the ammo shack. Then, again, the duty officer, I suppose, shouts, "Get back in the ditch or I'll put you on report for disobeying the direct order." Talk about being between a rock and a hard spot. These people in these airplanes are machine gunning and dropping bombs, trying to kill as many of us as they could, and our own duty officer taking shelter here in the ditch is threatening us with military discipline for wanting to defend ourselves. I couldn't believe it. With total and complete disregard for the threat of military discipline, with total and complete disregard for the fact that aerial bombs and machine gun bullets were raining down in the area to where we were running, we continued to run. We made it to the ammo shack. The ordnance went unlock the door, let himself in. I'm right behind him. "What do you want?" "Give me a 50 caliber machine gun." Now, I'm a Reese farm boy. The biggest gun I'm used to firing on a regular basis is a shoulder-fired 22 caliber rifle. This is not a shoulder-fired gun. It's a fixed-mount machine gun. It looked to me like a cannon without wheels, you know. But I took it as best I could, most likely cradled it in my arms, turned and started for the door. By now, I guess a few other brave souls figured they didn't want to be in that ditch either, and it followed us to the ammo shack. The guy coming in the door was somewhat taller than I, huskier built. I just offloaded that machine gun to him. I said, "Here, take it to the BUI parked in front of 23's hangar. I'll get the ammo." He took it, turned out the door, he went. I turned around, and there again, I'm so thankful for that aviation ordnanceman, because without his cooperation, none of this that I was involved in could have happened. He was, I believe, a second-class petty officer. I'm just a first-class seaman at the time, maybe the boot of the squadron. He could have said, "Well, you an idiot, I'm not going to get out of this for you or anyone." Anyway, he was like he had springs on his shoes. Boy, he was right behind me. Anyway, when I turned around, he was just setting 2 canisters of 50 caliber ammo up on the counter. I grabbed those 2 canisters of ammo, turned, and out the door I went. Now, I've never been a runner or sprinter, but I guarantee you, I beat the guy with the gun to the airplane. He had a heavier load than I did. We were coming from the port side, the easterly direction, approaching that aircraft, the same direction that the attacking aircraft were coming from. But the ladder to get into that airplane was hanging from the starboard gun blister around the backside. I ran around the backside, set those canisters down, started up the ladder. I don't think I got more than a couple of rungs when it dawned on me, hey, if I get up inside this airplane, am I going to be strong enough to reach down and pull that big old gun up inside? I don't think so. So I jumped down off the ladder just as the guy with the gun got there. I said, "Hey, give it to me, you get up inside, I'll hand it to you." Well, he chopped up that ladder, jumped inside, turned around, reached down. I got the gun to him somehow, most likely muzzle first, which is the lightest end, but which is also a safety no-no. But I don't think either one of us were thinking about safety right at that time. I shouted, put it in a port blister, that's the side they're coming from. And he turned and disappeared into the fuselage of that airplane. I grabbed the canister of that ammo in my right hand, guided myself up the ladder with the left hand, set that canister inside, back down the ladder, got the second one, back up, set it inside, jumped inside, picked those two canisters up, stepped across to the port gun blister, just as he was swinging that monitor gun out and locking it in firing position. I set those canisters down under the gun, flipped the lid open, up to the end of the belt right below, thinking he'd have the breech open, but he was just standing there staring skyward. I looked up and here comes another one of those airplanes in a steep power dive. Same old blinking and flashing lights. Now I'm only hearing popping sound, which I was later told were some of those bullets passing through the fuselage of that airplane were in. Big old bomb hanging there on the bottom. Man, I couldn't wait on this other guy to get his train of thoughts back together. I just reached over, slid the lock forward, threw the breech open, bent the end of the belt into the loading mechanism, slammed it shut, grabbed the charging pin, pulled it back, let it go, bam, we got around in the chamber. Shoot, I shouted, and he pulled the trigger. Now, I guess he was one of those guys that thought with a machine gun, you don't have to aim, you just point in the general direction of the target and fire away. Because I stood there and watched those tracer bullets fly off harmlessly through empty space, nowhere near where that airplane was. I think that's when my country boy, hunter instinct, kicked into gear. I used to shoot jackrabbits on the run, Chinese ringneck pheasants on the fly, not with a shotgun, with a .22 caliber rifle. I knew that you had to put that bullet where the target would be when the two of them came together. Back there on the farm in the countryside where I was raised, you became a hunter and a gatherer real early in life. And you also better become a good shot, because being a good shot would oftentimes mean the difference of whether you would or would not have food on the table. Anyway, I shot, let me get the next one. He let that gun down, stepped aside, I grabbed it, brought it back up. Just as I did, here comes another one of those guys in a power dive. Boy, I got a bead in the lead. If any of you guys are hunters, you know what I mean, a bead in the lead. I continued to lead, squeeze the trigger. I continued leading and firing all the while that airplane came down, completed its dive, pulled out in level flight. I watched those tracer bullets fly through the air, and it looked like every one of them went right into that round opening in front of that old air-cooled radial engine dive bomber, and then stitched the stitch right down the bottom of the fuselage. Now, some of you who have been in the service know and remember that following each one of those tracer bullets, there are 4 more regular bullets, another tracer, 4 more regular bullets. So I know here and I know here that I did some damage to that aircraft. But you're not going to be watching him to see what happens to him. He's no longer a threat. He's going away. You better be looking for the next one that's coming at you. I bring that gun back down. I'm looking for another in the power dive, but I don't see any in the power dive. But there's one out of the channel, maybe 2 city blocks away. Well within the range of a 50 caliber machine gun. He's not in a power dive, but a steep banking and descending left turn as though he's getting ready to make another machine gun run on it. Because he's in that left turn, I can see the cockpit. It's about 6 or 8 feet behind the front of that airplane. I figure at that distance and at that speed, if I use the front of that airplane as my aiming point, I'm going to get some rounds into the fuselage, maybe even into the cockpit. And believe you me, if you get a couple of 50 caliber slugs bouncing around inside that cockpit with that pilot, you're going to give him something else to think about besides coming back to machine gun you a second time. Anyway, I stayed at that gun. I got to fire, well, wait a minute. Yeah, when I started to fire him, I don't think I got off more than about 6 or 8 rounds, but I saw at least 2 of those tracer bullets disappear into the fuselage of that airplane just forward of the cockpit. And when they did, that airplane did an abrupt rolling right turn and was gone from my field of fire. No more aircraft came back to bomb or strafe our end of the island that morning. I think he got on his communication system and said, don't go back there anymore, because usually if the lead pilot comes back, then all of his wingmen will come back and follow him around again. Anyway, none of them came back. But I stayed at that gun. I got to fire short at other aircraft as they passed through my limited field of fire on their way to or from other targets. A little later on, about the same time the second wave of those attacking aircraft came in, the USS Nevada came down the channel, making a run for open water. Boy, those pilots, those airplanes got on in like a swarm of bees. They were hoping they could sink it there in the harbor, and that would have blocked the harbor for some time. And again, I got to fire short bursts at some of those as they too passed through my limited field of fire on their way to or from the USS Nevada. I was watching a news broadcast, I think it was on the 50th anniversary from Pearl Harbor. They had made it a point to locate some of those pilots who had actually participated in that raid, who had survived the war, and who were physically capable to travel, and they had brought them back to Pearl Harbor for that anniversary. They were interviewing them, talking to them, find out what their experience was, and they asked this one guy, what part did you play in that raid? I wish I'd have been there. Now listen very carefully to this. He said, I was the lead pilot of a group of 9 aircraft. Our assigned targets were the airplanes and the hangars on Fort Island. That's where I was. He said, when I went into my first run, machine gun, dropped my bomb, I didn't see a soul. It was like the whole island was asleep. But he said, we were surprised how fast they reacted, because by the time I had came around and was lining up for my second machine gun run, there was so much fire coming up that I turned and went elsewhere. Oh, I'd love to talk to him. There's the guy that dropped the very first bomb to fall at Pearl Harbor that morning. That's the guy that dropped the bomb that got to me physically, spilled my blood, surely some of the first, if not the very first blood to fall at Pearl Harbor that morning. But in spite of that, I think I'm the guy, or at least one of the guys, that got to him mentally with that on-target 50 caliber machine gun fire and changed his mind about coming back and machine gunning us a second time. In 2010, I, my dear sweet wife, daughter, and son-in-law were at Pearl Harbor. There was about 115 other survivors there for that event. I think most every one of them, to the last man, had been back to Pearl Harbor a number of times. For me, that was the first time back to Pearl Harbor in 64 years. I had been there in 1946 aboard the USS St. Paul. I was still serving in the service. Anyway, after going to the memorial service that morning and the rededication of the Visitor Center, I boarded one of those white boats and went out aboard USS Arizona Memorial. Standing there on the deck of that memorial, look over the side at the hull of that vessel, resting there in the bottom of the harbor. All those names listed there on the honor wall, and know that those are the names of 1,177 crew members whose earthly remains are still aboard that vessel, still down there. It was a lot different than when I saw it explode that memorable Sunday morning, or saw it burning afterwards, or resting there in the bottom of the harbor each time I passed by on the Liberty boat, or on other ships as I went to other duty stations all during World War II.